We'd like to welcome each and every one of you. We've got some county commissioners in the audience, and we're always glad to have them. We also have our leadership Franklin County class, and we're glad to see you guys here. So I guess the first item for business is a request to appear before the board. So the board will recognize Mr. David Carson.
Hello. I understand that I have 5 minutes, and it'll probably take 30 seconds or 3 hours. But my request is for the board to consider naming and honoring Jeff Taylor by naming the Franklin County High School gym after Jeff. Coach Jeff Taylor is, as most of you know, is battling cancer. There's not a good prognosis. This is the part that can take 3 hours. Jeff, for those who know Jeff, he's just, he's best of the best. A little bit of history on Jeff. He's 5'10" country boy from Harmony, Tennessee, and he came to Franklin County High School when he could have gone several places to play basketball. Back in those days, like today, they still kind of recruit in high school. Because he was a native-born son, he decided to come to Franklin County High School. And I was hired in 1988 to lead our boys basketball program, and it was, for lack of a better term, bottom of the barrel. It was terrible. It's been so for 10, 12 years. In Jeff's 3 years, 1990, 91, 92, it's probably doesn't mean much today, but those 3 years there, we won 48 games, and he's a large part of that success. We beat a lot of good teams, including an Alabama state champion. Jeff wasn't born a great player. He made himself a great player. And he's got some athletic feats that I could spend some time talking about that I don't think it's appropriate right now. But Jeff still today is the only Franklin County boys basketball player to be a Division I player. He signed with Samford University and played for Coach John Brady, who later coached LSU. But Jeff was that really doesn't mean a whole lot. Going back to what I opened up with initially, Jeff is battling cancer. He did something at Tullahoma that they hadn't done in 30 years, and that was win a district championship. He promptly decided to come to Franklin County. Took a substantial pay cut, I'm sure, and because he came to Franklin County because a lot of us in here, he's a native son who wants to see the best for Franklin County. And he's come to Franklin County and done things the right way. As a father of 3 daughters, he's the kind of type of kid, I call him a kid because I coached him, he's almost like a son to me. But he came to Franklin County because he wants to see Franklin County at its best. And he's been at our school now for, 5 or 6, 7 years, and has continued to rebuild our basketball program. He does things the right way. He's a great person. I'd like for y'all to consider naming the gym after Coach Jeff Taylor. Now, any questions? Or there is some precedence. If I know in 1982, when I was hired by Franklin County School System, Mr. Jim Douglas was our superintendent of schools, and he died of a heart attack while in the hospital. And I know everybody that I know that follows football, local football, we refer to the stadium on the boulevard as James E. Douglas Memorial Stadium. And I think I may be incorrect on this. You might be able to help me, Mr. Williams. Just a few years later, we named the Huntland Sports Complex after Shirley Majors. And then I know a few years ago, I think when we transitioned from junior highs to middle schools, we named the two junior highs J.D. Jackson and H. Lewis Scott. And we had trouble picking up with those names, but I don't think it was because of any community disapproval. It was more because we've called it North and South for decades. It was more about habit than anything. But please take this into consideration. Jeff's a great guy, and he's fought the big battle. He's done it the right way, and I would appreciate it. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for presenting this to the board. All right, moving on, approval of the agenda. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Mr. Guest, second by Mr. Hagan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have the approval of the consent agenda. Take a minute or two and look over those if you have any questions.
There is one addition to the consent agenda. We had 2 early departure requests, one for Huntland soccer and one for Franklin County High School basketball. So those have been added since last week. So just wanted to draw your attention to that.
I didn't announce it, but we do have our board member from Swanee, Mr. Adam Tucker, joining us via Skype. So we didn't catch his last vote on that one, but I think he did mine. Okay, we'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All right, we have a motion by Ms. Leakey and a second by Mr. Guest. All those in favor? Aye. We got him on that one. All right, so moving on is to the director's report.
Good evening. The first item on the director's report has actually come up since last week, so I wanted to bring this in front of the board because it is a multi-year commitment that we'll be making on this project. And I've asked Cynthia Young, who's the principal of Cowan Elementary, to join us and present this and give you some information about it so that we can make a decision on before we sign the contract, since it is multi-year. I just wanted the board's perspective on that. So, Ms. Young.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, just like afternoon to me. Well, long story short, a few weeks into school, I received a call saying that we could win a scholarship. And you know how you think, well, this is too good to be true because it's $11,000. And I was like, oh, okay. And so kind of just put it off. So the more we investigated, we found out that it is true. And as you can see up there, it talks about things that you can spend it on. They do have, it's the Ben Carson Foundation. There is a very wealthy backer from Tennessee that wants to back our school. If y'all agree to let us do this, we'll be the 5th school in Tennessee that's received this honor. Basically what it means is that you have to commit to this for 10 years. And you know at Cowan Elementary, we're all about the reading. We have lots of reading programs, the AR program and all of that. But this is a room, I tried to do something like this a couple of years ago, where we took a room and kids would get to come in there after lunch and whatever and sit in comfortable chairs and have fun places to go and read. And this is what, one of the commitments is that you had to go visit one of the schools. So last week I went to Lookout Valley Elementary, which is down in Chattanooga. And this is their reading room. It's just a portion of the library that they've turned in. And that's just painted. The murals is what makes this really pretty. Miss Linda, if you click on, yeah, that one too. Yeah, and that one, the thing that they want you to do is just look, the books have to be, you can't see the spines, you have to have them presented this way where you can see the front of the book, where it's more child friendly. They want you to have chairs, and they tell me that those little chairs right there, the kids fight over those to go and sit in those. They love those. And it's just the way they've decorated, you know, it looks kind of, theirs was like the Enchanted Forest. We pulled a little committee together at Cowan. They want you to work with the committee and have input. We also would like to have our children have input over what books they would like to see in there. And we've decided to do, if you all agree, Discover America, where that our background and everything will be some of the national parks. And we've got people at our school who can paint the murals and some parents who have volunteered to come in and do that for us, which I think really makes the reading room really nice. The only thing that the holdback was is the 10-year commitment. You know, I know that we can keep it going that way as long as, you know, you guys will give us the okay on it and say that it's okay with you for us to do that. So I think it's a good thing for us to get the books and the other thing is, if our school were to close, that was the one thing that we asked, that the reading room and all the materials would be moved to another school in the same location. So it's kind of like a win-win situation.
So what is the 10-year commitment exactly, that you will keep this,
That we will just keep it going and make sure that the kids get to go in there and use it.
and do you get an annual amount of money to,
You don't have to spend all of your money up front. You can keep some on the back burner. You know, you don't have to spend it all. We have some books. You can use some of the books that you have. You don't have to just splurge all of your money at one time. I think it's very doable. As long as you all don't mind us taking a room at Cowan and doing this with it.
So your total funds are 15,000?
Total funds.
and do you know how Calvin was selected? That's just a curiosity question.
I asked that, and they didn't say. I'm hoping that I'll find out more. And the other thing is, once the contract is signed, you have 90 days to get everything implemented and in place. And then you have to have a grand opening, which all of you will be invited to come to, and let everyone, you know, from the community and stakeholders come and see that this is part of our school and that the Ben Carson Foundation helped fund this for us.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from your staff?
Oh, they're excited. They're excited. Oh, yes. The kids are like, we can't wait. So I have to go to the board and ask.
Now, what about the scheduling? How long will they be in there? How many days a week? Who gets to go?
Right. You're obligated to have 3 days.
Each child have 3 days?
No. Just have it open 3 days. Mhm. And it has to be supervised. So a lot of times, you know, we have a lot more children now coming in on early bus study hall. So the room I'd like to put it in is right where I stand anyway. So I was thinking, you know, in the mornings, as soon as they eat their breakfast, that'd be a good time to get a lot of our older children in there, you know, to read. You can get in 30 minutes every day with that. And of course, there'll be other times throughout the day that we could schedule for the students to go in and read.
Would it be connected at all to their library time or?
No, it'd be
Okay.
separate.
It's
This would be a separate time.
Is this pre-K or pre-bill?
Yes, ma'am. It'd be books for all, in all genres too.
And what happens after the 10 years? What happens
I
after?
would hope we would continue it.
But the money will be gone and the accountability to the,
Right. We would be released from the foundation. We wouldn't have to have any ties. You know, we wouldn't have to be giving, and we have to give feedback to them on an annual feedback basis of, you know, how many people have been in there and all. But we do that anyway. It's not anything I don't think that would be too hard for us to take care of.
You don't have to give anything back after 10 years? Like the book you
It's
purchased?
ours. Anybody else have any more questions?
Attached.
Well, thank you all for letting me
Thanks.
talk about it tonight.
So I guess I probably do need a motion to approve us moving forward with this contract with the person reading this.
Motion to approve.
And that would be your recommendation.
It is my recommendation, yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Mr. Guest, second by Ms. Jones. All those in favor?
Thank you.
The other pieces, there's a couple of budgetary pieces there. The first one is an in-house amendment. And again, that's just moving some money around within the budget, signed by myself and the finance director. That one does not have to go to county commission. I'll answer any questions you might have about that.
How much are we talking about total? Being moved around?
A total of 28,000.
And why does it need to be?
The reassignment of Mr. Sons to the alternative school, we had to move his career ladder into that line item and also his salary. So that's why the numbers are there. The second piece of that is the financial reports, and is Ms. Latham, she's here. So this is the first quarter that we have of our financials. We're pretty much on track there. I don't think there's any concerns, is there? Oh, I'm sorry, the September and then the first quarter. We have both listed. I've got it in myself. if you have any questions on those, we can answer them. If not, that's all I had for this evening.
All right, anyone have anything else for Dr. Lawrence? If not, we'll move on to old business, policy 3.218, service animals in district facilities. And I think Mr. Tucker was going to do a little rewording on some of those.
Yes, the language in blue, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The language in blue is the amended language, which says, and the substantive change is the addition of, nor may the district ask, the district may not ask about the nature or extent of a person's disability, nor may the district ask for documentation that the animal has been properly trained. I would suggest, and this is a problem in the revision I sent to Dr. Lawrence, is after trained, just put a period and start the next sentence, not individual. But otherwise, substantively, this was my recommendation. Yes.
We'll make that correction before we send it to TSBA then, if you all approve it this evening.
We would entertain a motion. No one has any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Ms. Leakey, second by Mr. Hagan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And Adam agreed as well.
He better, he wrote it.
All right, going on to new business, we have a resolution for Broadview copier lease. I think we've seen quite a few of these now, so they should be
Right, we're
pretty-
still working to get all the schools under the same contract.
Mandate my first.
Yeah, we're still working on that. We're getting much closer. I don't think we have very many outliers now. So I would make a recommendation to approve that for them to move forward.
All right,
Motion to approve.
motion to approve by Mr. Guest, second by Ms. Leakey. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And Adam agrees too.
He's real on
Yeah, he is, isn't he? All right. Second item is the Tennessee Diploma Project and academic elective focus areas.
This is adding, on that page, you'll see about midway down, adding the work-based learning career exploration. This is part of the grant that we received that Anna Mullins is actually spearheading. So that would be an opportunity for those students to have a focus area. And that needs to be approved by the board.
Anybody have any questions about this?
What's the rationale that we need to approve it?
Ms. Anna, do you
Want me to
know?
address that?
Yes, please.
I do. The course code here, the 6107 that we're asking to be approved, it pertains to our kids with disabilities and it's work-based learning. And some of our kids will have a work-based learning opportunity that falls within the elective focus area. And that can go under a course code we already have for 6105. This would be for a child with a disability to go out and try some different areas. So, I might find some work in manufacturing and I might try, a different field. So this gives us an opportunity to give these kids exposure to some different things. So this can be an elective area in itself.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we accept this.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Hanger, second by Mr. Guest. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Without anything else, we'll be moving to schedule of meetings. We have October
It's this Thursday.
this Thursday, the This is the last town hall meeting at North Middle School at 6 o'clock. October 24, 6:30, County Commission School Committee meeting here. And that'll wrap up the meetings in October.
What time is that school committee meeting? Is it 6:30?
6:30.
Is there a reason we're going back to South in November?
We haven't been there for a board meeting yet. We have not to South.
We got a workshop.
Yeah, board meeting.
Do we have the board meeting?
It
now?
was-
We've had a
It
board.
was right, that's right, it was
I think it
right.
is.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
had a
that's
board.
right, it
Trust
was.
me, I remember that.
I do, oh yeah, I do too now, that you said that, okay.
Which is
We may,
okay.
we may change the location then, since we've already done it.
I don't mind going back. Go back.
They offered, so I put them down.
That might not be a bad idea.
That is the month that you're looking at the presentations for the, from the town hall meetings, so.
Might be a good idea.
I'll check to see if we're set on that, if we are, I'll let you know.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
All right, if there's nothing else.
Motion to adjourn.
We are.